Hello everybody. Is the speaker loud enough? Does anybody still have eardrums? The lady wants to do something. Ah, thank you.
I don't want a dirty patch.
I love the way people look after me. Okay, most of you know me already, but I have to go through this bloody speech, right? My name is Robert Mackin, I am the editor of the Irish Defence Forces Veterans News. I'd like to welcome us all here tonight to the first annual Veterans Award dinner, here in the Members' Restaurant in Leinster House. I would also like to thank our hosts for tonight's occasion, Senator Gerard Cragwell, our sponsor Paul Ferguson, Nicky Quinlan, PD Fora, the Irish Defence Forces Veterans Association, without whose support we could not celebrate the deeds, the actions and support shown by our nominees to our fellow veterans, both serving and retired members of the Defence Forces. Tonight we are honoured to celebrate those veterans who have given above and beyond for their fellows veterans, both serving and retired, who have inspired others around them in their deeds and in their actions, who have portrayed the Defence Forces in a positive light. Something that needs to be done more often is portraying the Defence Forces in a positive light. There's an awful lot of negativity going on, but that's going off the speech. I'll pull it back to where it was. Without those veterans, the Veterans Awards dinner would not and could not be possible. Tonight we honour 3 of our fellow veterans in these categories. Unfortunately, one of them couldn't make it tonight due to an illness in the family. Members who have gone above and beyond in aid of veterans and of the Irish Defence Forces. Members who have gone above and beyond, these are the categories. Supporting veterans of the serving members of the Defence Forces. Members who continually have brought good light onto the Defence Forces and the Defence Forces community. Veterans who have gone above and beyond, uniting veterans on the whole island of Ireland. Okay? And what I'd like to first do is welcome Senator Gerard Cragwell. Senator Cragwell? Gerard, as you know, is not only our nominee from the ICPSA like Terry, but Terry is also a veteran of the Defence Forces, part of the Defence Forces family. Gerard, I'll leave to you.
Colleagues, thank you very much, and in particular thank you to Robbie and the gang and the members. As Robbie pointed out, I'm Sergeant Gerard Cragwell from the Cade Con in Galway. That's where I was, that's what I am, and I'm very privileged to be where I am. I'm also delighted to welcome you guys here tonight for the first inaugural dinner for the Veterans Association. It is extremely important that these associations are formed, that they form close bonds. The only way we know about people in trouble, former colleagues who are in trouble, and God knows we've all come across them, the only way we'll ever know is if we stick together as a group. And when one of us hears of somebody in trouble, then we should be in a position to go and do something for that somebody. And before I do anything else, I want to talk about the Jadaville heroes. And I know we're probably sick to the back teeth of hearing about the Jadaville heroes, but let me explain something. It has always been the position of the Defence Forces and the Department of Defence that Commandant Pat Quinlan, if he made any recommendations, those recommendations were never to be found. Well, tonight, I want to read into the record of this meeting the following. The Military Medal for Gallantry, recommended by Commandant Pat Quinlan, were for Company Sergeant Jack Prendergast, Sergeant John Monaghan, Sergeant Walter Hegarty, Corporal Tyke Quinn, and Private Gerald Henry. They were all recommended for the Military Medal for Gallantry. In addition to that, Distinguished Service Medals for Jadaville that were recommended by Commandant Quinlan are as follows. Captain Liam Donnelly, Lieutenant Kevin Knightley, Lieutenant Noel Curie, Lieutenant Tom Quinlan, Company Sergeant Jack Prendergast, Sergeant John Monaghan, Sergeant Walter Hegarty, Sergeant Tom Kelly, Corporal James Ray, Corporal James Lucy, Corporal Tom MacDonald, Corporal John Foley, Corporal John McDonough, Corporal John McManus, Corporal Ty Quinn, Corporal Michael Lynch, Private Joe Kane, Private Robert Larkin, Private Michael McCormick, Private Tom Gunn, Private Charles Cooley, Private Thomas Flynn, Private Michael Tye, Private Daniel Malloy, Private Niall Nyson, Private Jim Feary, Private Noel Stanley, Private Michael Brennan, Private Gerald Henley, Private Matt Quinlan, and Private Michael Galvin. These were colleagues of ours who were nominated for Distinguished Service Medals or for Medals for Gallantry. In addition to this group, we have uncovered 196 recommendations for Distinguished Service Medals for people who served in the Congo. Today I asked the Minister for Defence to ensure that a trawl of all recommendations that were ever made for Distinguished Service Medals or Medals for Gallantry be made in the Defence Forces. Because I know, and you know, there are people who served on the Golan Heights, there are people who served in Kosovo, there are people who served in Lebanon, who did some marvellous things, who are braver men than I would ever be, who have done things that I would never do, who have done things that should be recognised. And I think it behoves all of us to ensure, of these group that I read out, 31 for DSMs, 5 for Medals for Gallantry. The Military Medal for Gallantry is the equivalent of the Victoria Cross in Irish terms. Walter Hegarty is the father-in-law of my niece. I never knew anything about Walter Hegarty, even on the day my niece married her son, his son. And when the medals for Jadaville were first mentioned, I rang Patricia and I said, great news. I said, they have decided to give a Jadaville medal. She said, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, I said, put your husband on to me, he'll know. And I spoke to her husband. He said, what are you talking about? And then I look at Charlie Cooley down here. Charlie Cooley is recommended for a DSM. Charlie Cooley is an old man of almost 80 years of age, sitting in a wheelchair in Galway, who cried his eyes out on the night we held a Jadaville lecture in Galway. Colleagues, there are people in this room who did extraordinary things in their service. What is it about this miserable country that we cannot recognise gallantry or distinguished service? I promise you one thing tonight. I've given you the names of 31 DSMs and 5 military medals. I've told you there are 196 from the Congo. I promise you this much, I will not leave this lie. I will never leave it lie. We were soldiers, brothers in arms, all of us. I never served overseas. I had the cushiest job a guy ever got in the Defence Forces. I made it to sergeant within a year and a half of joining. I spent a couple of years training NCOs at Lone. Then I trained recruits in Galway. And then I got a cushy job in the officers' mess where I didn't even have to do duties. So I saw the border for 3 days. Went up on a Friday, I came back on a Sunday, right? So I never really worked hard in the Defence Forces, but you guys did. And I tell you this much, we need as a country to grow up and respect our Defence Forces. And for those of you who turned out on the 19th in the Parade for Respect, I am so deeply honoured to have had a tiny part of that parade. Colleagues, we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to of these 31 I mentioned in the 5 military medals for gallantry, only 9 live today. The rest will be posthumously awarded. But I promise you this much, we will go through this and we will go through it line by line, soldier by soldier, in order to establish who is entitled to what. How dare a country let Walter Hegarty go to his grave not knowing that he was once recommended for the Military Medal for Gallantry? How dare a country let Private Quinlivan, who took his own life 5 years after Jadaville, go to his grave without knowing that he was recommended for a DSM? What change would that have made to his life? So colleagues, while tonight is a night for celebration and for linking up with old comrades and friends, at the back of our heads has to be those comrades who have gone before us, who we owe a debt of gratitude to. You men served overseas, most of you. I hate it when I'm on parade with you or when I meet with you. The bloody medals have ye all tilted to the left. I'm going to buy a few medals, so I haven't put them up just for the hell of it. But colleagues, please, we got to keep supporting the serving members. And I want to acknowledge the presence of Mark Keane here tonight at PT Fora. A tremendous president. I don't know where Mark is right now, but he has had, there he is down at the end of the room. Mark, you have had a tremendous conference this year, you and your colleagues. You got more publicity than I did, and I tried to run for president. So I gotta say, we are deeply indebted to you, and when you don't always get the most sympathetic view from some of our colleagues, we do owe you a debt of thanks. And we want to say thank you to you tonight. So, colleagues, all of you here tonight are, as I said, brothers in arms. And what you do is you shine a light on the Defence Forces. You shine a light on the pride that we all felt when we served in uniform. And there's one or two you could do with learning how to polish the shoes again. I was watching in the last parade. You wouldn't have lasted long in my recruit platoon, but having said that, I'm proud to be here. I'm delighted that Leinster House is the place where you chose to have your inaugural meeting, and I thank Captain John Flaherty, who's sitting over there, a former member of the Defence Forces himself, and the Superintendent Paul Conway. Also thank the Cancorla who agreed to allow this to take place tonight. So from that point of view,
open your jacket pocket.
Which one?
Took it out.
This one?
Yeah.
So I think Robbie has given me the hint it's time to shut up. I should recognise my colleague, Senator Terry Layton over there. Terry, thank you for your ongoing support at every time we speak. So the nominees I have here are Gregory Leach, Noel Keary, Anthony Moore, Robbie Masterson and Noel MacDonald. And I feel it's a bit like the Oscars. Right? And the winner is Noel MacDonald. You're not hoping to get something, are you?
No. We had an award for you, but we forgot.
Actually, we totally forgot all about it. Yeah, right. It's probably your responsibility. The award is for the member who was brought the most positive life in the Defence Force. It was the member who brought the most positive life in the Defence Force. As you know, Noel is the president of the Michael Collins Club. And over the last couple of years, he's brought Nationwide, News Talk, Prime Time, am I missing anybody? Into the brewer to talk about the son and daughter, to talk about military history and what it is to be a member of the Defence Forces. You more than just won this award. It's a privilege to give it to you. That's where you go.
Hey, cute. Oh yeah. You're not going to give a speech, no? Get up there and give a speech.
If I could ask Senator Terry Layton to come to the podium, please. The member who has gone above and beyond in aid of veterans of the Defence Forces. Terry? No, you're actually reading the bill. He's also one of my oldest friends, so don't worry about that.
How do you follow Senator Jerry Crockett?
With a bus.
Well, today we just happen to be talking today, and good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. You're very welcome to the Oireachtas. You're very welcome to Dáil and Shannon. And this is quite a unique occasion, actually, in fact, to have such a gathering here in the Oireachtas. And I'm here since the last century, by the way. It's true, that's true. But I was a bit stirred outside the house today. I was talking about passports and the fact that quite a number of English people are applying for Irish passports, and rightly so, and because they're European passports, and I think it's very good. And there are many people who are entitled to British passports, and I feel it's good to have both. We're joint passport holders, so don't be embarrassed about it. If it's to help you and your families, why not go for it? We're now mature enough now than we were in the past. So I asked Jared said, I'm like James Bond. I said, are you a double agent or something, or some kind of a 007 or something? No, he said, my passport says on His Majesty's service. But he has joined us and was here in the Oireachtas, and he's doing a very, very good job. In fact, he's actually a tremendous representative of the Defence Force. I have to say, I admire all the work he's doing for all the services here, and I genuinely say that. Just want to recognise our captain here, John Flaherty, who does a tremendous job here in the house. He's the most amiable captain, well, in my time ever had any of us. So I won't say any more than that. And the superintendent, Paul Conway, they're very, very grateful for them for cooperating with Robbie and the team here in having this function here tonight, because they play a very important role. They manage this, and you should be very proud that in the tradition of this house, only former members of the Defence Forces, the captain and superintendent. So that's a recognition of the Army and our Defence Forces, that honour is bestowed on former members, or the ordained former members that applied for and received that particular job, and it's very competitive. But so well done, thanks very much for having me, and thanks for your work. Robbie McNair is an amazing man, and he used to be here working in the unit here. Working, yes. And he initiated a wonderful thing. Every Christmas when he was here, he had a little hot drinks, Irish coffees here, the Taoiseach and everybody else come down and have an event. So he just does a wonderful job, and he's doing great work. In fact, without him, we would not be here tonight, I have to say that. So, well done. President of PD Fora is here tonight. Mark Kane is down there. Mark, thanks for all your work. Wonderful president and really committed. And the president of the organisation here, Declan Sheridan, as well, is there. And we have overseas guests here from across Europe. So stand up there and say,
Carbonari.
Where you are? Yeah. Very well. And we hope to make a return visit there very shortly. At least I think Robbie's going back in with a few more. So just want to say to all of you, we admire your work. You put yourselves on behalf of the state right here at home and abroad. Here during the Troubles, in the Golan Heights, in Cyprus, in everywhere, Lebanon, everywhere, you name those. So well done for your work, your heroism, your commitment, and your loyalty to the state. So it's a wonderful occasion tonight. And I want to say, by the way, the ladies are looking absolutely fabulous. They're going to be cut off here now. I won't tell you anything tongue, but it's just a lovely evening, actually. I think it's a very, very special evening. So without further ado, like the Oscars, I didn't read it, so I will. No, open it here now. I'm going to read out the correct one. Remember, some Oscars, I read the wrong one. That's a bit of a okay, so the nominees are Gregory Leach, Noel Carey, Anthony Moore, Robbie Marston, and Noel O'Callaghan. And the successful nominee, the winner is Anthony Moore.
Anthony, on behalf of the Irish Defence Forces Veterans Knows, congratulations. kind of rush this along. The veteran who has gone above and beyond in uniting veterans on the island of Ireland. Okay, this is the man who, in his own initiative, decided to create a core organisation. Okay, so if I could ask Mark to come up. And read out the nominations. This is
Ladies and gentlemen, President, Vice President, thanks very much, Robbie, for the invitation here tonight. Senators, I'd like to thank you very much for your very kind words, not just alone for myself, but my colleagues in Peterborough here tonight, members of the National Executive, Chairman of the East, the working members, Donna Maguire, Vice President. And it's good to know that there is a lot of good work being done outside of the organisation when you do go, that you take that esprit de corps with you outside. It's very much welcome. I know I shouldn't say this, but Ken Hannon would back me up with this. Being the treasurer, Peterborough will always be there to support you. You won't be found wanting. I'd just like to thank you both for your service to Peterborough and Ulster Heron, and to those less fortunate than ourselves, the veterans who've gone.
Here, here.
They're the people that inspire us to join. They're the people we motivate ourselves to do better for, and we'll be those people someday. So thank you again. So we want nominations, a bit like the Oscars, all right? I hope I don't get it wrong. I can't spell your name, Ken.
I'll move on to the next one.
I'm moving on quickly. The nominees are Noel MacDonald, John Spike McCormack, Noel O'Callaghan, Paul Gifford, and I would like to call on Paul Gifford, please. Thank you.
Unfortunately, Paul Gifford can't be here tonight due to an illness in the family. Unfortunately, as you can take it, nobody knows who won the awards until after they've been read out. So, Mark, would you like to do the last one? Do you want to do the last one?
I think he got the Senators subsequently. 006, is it? No?
Okay.
There's no room on the podium. There's no room on the podium.
Talk about being kicked off the podium.
Senator Cragwell, would you check your pockets for a nomination envelope, please?
You know what it is.
Of course I do. I'm the one who put them in the envelopes.
Don't check your phone. That's my son bringing me through my...
Okay, the veteran has gone above and beyond in uniting veterans on the island of Ireland. Okay, there was 4 in the awards. 2 members asked for their names to be pulled from the awards because they didn't feel like the man who should have got it is the man who should have got it. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight due to illness as well. But he's asked for Nicola Gaffney to come up and accept the award on his behalf, which was Noel Buckley. Noel is the chairman of the MPI, which is the Military Police Association of Ireland. Do you want to say a few words on Noel's behalf?
On Noel's behalf, I'm sure I'm sure Noel would want me to thank everyone for nominating him for this. He is deeply humbled, but unfortunately due to poor health he can't be here tonight, so thank you.
We could ask a bit of leeway for a second. Declan Sheridan, President of the Irish Defence Forces Veterans Association. Declan, could you close this?
time I saw you in the Ricky Bowl.
Are you finished yet?
You all know me so well. Okay,
We
look,
do
from my
now.
point of view, I'm looking around the room here and I see nothing but old friends, old colleagues, people I have grown old with, and people I knew from a very young age in my life.
Speak for yourself.
The blonde is always good for me, so I'm happy. But from my point of view, sitting here and watching this, laughing, joking, having fun, and remembering veterans who have gone by, remembering veterans who have been good for the rest of the organisation and other organisations. There's nothing can ruin tonight in that sense. It's been a great night, it's been a massive achievement, and it's worked very well for us all to sit here and have a great night and enjoy ourselves. From this point of view, I would hope that we would have these on a regular occurrence and things will be only getting better with a bit of luck. It's just brilliant to see us all here. I don't know what to say. Looking around, the smiling face, the happy faces, seeing you all, and the abuse she's given me is just unbelievable. So I'm very thankful for that as well. So without holding it any longer, I'd just like to thank you all very much for showing support to the Irish Defence Force Veterans Association, the Irish Defence Force Veterans News. And from our side, you know, we're delighted that we have this bond with you and you have been very supportive to us. And we look forward to it growing from now on and further into the future. Thank you very much, and I hope everyone has a safe journey home and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you very much. God bless. Fran is just reminding me, could we have a quick toast to falling members who have gone before us? Of all services and all rights. All the members, thank you very much. Good night and God bless. Thank you.
Very nice.